Hi, Earth people. I am Chinghiz together with you. Today, August 9, 2022. And civilization of planet Earth. What's happening to you? And I say you repeatedly again and again what's happening to you and why happening and what you shall do for change that disastrous suicide course, suicidal course. And already war in Europe for years we saying that, but political establishment pushing button of full ignorance with continuation of appeasement of putler means Hitler our days, Putin. Okay, and Putin this no first war. Putin did genocidal war. Putin did genocide in Chechnya, did same plus minus in Syria, now in Ukraine, and of course did genocide. And Putler doing that intentionally. He have plan and using his all power and resources inside Russia, his president power, and including also outside Russia in NATO member countries, his tools and member of her team, or propaganda media, this of course. And result of that genocidal war in Ukraine. But Putin, who was appeased Putin, particular Putler team member, why they still untouchable? This is very big question, serious question, and should be answered. Untouchable means untouchable. I know exactly this universe unity. All them committed crime, very serious crime. All put their team in NATO country, NATO member countries. Former head of state, government, for example, Trump, Schroeder, Berlusconi, Sarkozy, others. Others and others. But no one of them touched it. They was on front line, means forward line, on appeasement of Putin. Orban in, if today acting, Orban in Hungary, Erdogan in Turkey, Ilham Aliyev in Azerbaijan, very criminals, and others. Okay? And until you take position, first, ignorance, appeasement means. After that, as a result of that, war in Europe, genocidal war. After that, some sorry, more, etc. And they continue still untouchable. By rule of law, very needed cleanup by rule of law. For example, Schroeder committed crime. I know that, I saying that. For confirm that should be the investigation. But German authority of Scholz-Moltz, same party, okay, Schroeder party, but it's not so important. Even Merkel party was same. Merkel was planning to come to Schroeder in same Putin org. Okay, plus means same salary, same money launderings. Yeah, no big difference. No, this is same. SPD or CDU. That's true. The truth about German political establishment. And Schroeder, there no investigation. Schroeder continue be at putler. At putler. He called him friend. Have friend ties. And German political establishment, even political establishment, try accept that as is normal. This is their private life. They can be friends. What this means? Huh? Germany. How you can say that? Putler, before your very eyes, in Europe, in genocidal war in Ukraine, Hitler our days. And how you can say it is a private case, Schroeder Putin friend. You can't say that simply. This is about morality, ethic norm. This may be no crime because rule of law, maybe. They are not writing. If you're friend of person who doing genocide, there's no crime. Maybe there's no crime. But they are morality. Huh? SPD commission, who try said Schroeder can't be removed from party because he not violated this SPD rule. Okay, charter, chapter, or what name? Ustav. Shame on you again, Germany political establishment minus Green Party. Only Green Party not involved entirely, mainly on Putin structure. That fact. Putin, this was Putin chose not use Green Party, maybe. But this party, Baerbock and others, not, but others, SPD, CDU particular, and there are others party. But SPD and CDU particular and directly Putin team structure. And this not to change if you not to change that, not to stop that. The shameful SPD for SPD party, Schroeder should remove from party, and I call now this much more mean also. I call German prosecutors, investigators, launch investigation on Schroeder criminal affair with Putin and Putin's Russia. And not only Schroeder. Start with that and their network, SPD-CDU, including Merkel. Start investigation, Germany. And finally, okay, long overdue FBI, Department of Justice come to Trump. This is very important. This is very important to United States national security. Entire to United States as country, because Trump did several treason against United States of America. And all them link it to Putin. One in financial line, another political, another, their schemes. This coup attempt. In coup attempt, I say there was insurrection. There was Putin spies. All this was directed by Trump. And this truly was coup attempt, very seriously. Their very concrete plan was. They launch that, start use that, but when they understand, they did that to final minute, second. But when they understand, they failed. Plan broke. After that, only Trump come online and say blah blah about stop these insurrections, but praise them even anyway. These missing text messages. For me, Sayed Director Panetta called that their conspiracy. Security Service, Homeland Security Department, Pentagon, and I know they are more, or deny even, Department of Justice even, not entirely, but concrete persons. Through investigation will show that. NSA, possible NSA. CIA, possible CIA. All they terminated the text message. United States should use his high-tech opportunity and restore these messages. Is this possible? We know that I already said that. And also we should use Department of Justice means should use these email text messages which the servers which Even if the social media should you take the opportunity to take these text messages, okay, backup messages, or specialists know that how this call it. But take these messages. You can't simply say they clear the message means terminate the message and you can't find that. This is not true. Take all message, restore. Crucial, including Department of Justice time I call that Deutsche Bank, including Deutsche Bank, Department of Justice. Putin, Trump. In this point where money comes from Putin to Trump, these dogs, Deutsche Bank said, terminated. Restore that. Go and take all that. They are not, some dog terminated, but have their backup and other dogs remain. They try hit that. The Deutsche Bank fully belong to Putin, Schröder, Merkel, others, means German. And of course, they are Trump. There billions of dollars was sent from Putin to Trump through Deutsche Bank. Only one payment there, more than $230 million. And Trump tax returns. Trump other finances. And Supreme Court member son there. Kennedy or name, their name no. Maybe no Kennedy, sorry. Maybe I not recall. In Deutsche Bank, in this position where money from Putin to Trump. Take this case to Department of Justice and others. Time for cleanup by rule of law. This is about United States of America, existence of United States of America. I say, they are Putin Ilham Aliyev attacking me. You listen? This Putin and Ilham Aliyev, no others. Now I hear before you, believe me, no less than 100 in each second. In Banque or this, I hear, and they each 10 minutes change one another, fully equipped. And they, as bunker, not exist. This neighbor, blah, blah, this system. Vibration in the jopa, bunker, all control it as the system how working. Pushing button, they're all instructed, of course, monthly salary they take. And they're using that as this day, but same time, same second, what you feel, which attack, this bunker. You have merely police and the generals, two in bunker. How they try attack me. Also, they try using this sound, voice, additional attack. My mind will distract and they no, the system terror and torture system very actively by them using methods. So I continue. Despite all that, Okay, Hitler, Putin, with genocidal war in Europe, and Western countries, and all entire civilized world, in all materials around the world, should join to these sanctions against Putin, or Africa, Asia, South America, Europe. You know, when I say Asia, enter Asia, including Middle East and others, all countries should join to sanctions list. They should sanction Putin. But we're seeing another happening even in European Union, in United States, in this sphere. Okay? Putin in genocidal war in Europe. There can't be position as a Russian come to our country, to our country. Come, yeah, race, mess, drink, use this Putin money, help Putin avoid sanctions. This should be stopped. President of Finlandia, Marin Sanna, she called for that. Estonian Prime Minister called for that. And others too. And finally, President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, called for that. They are genocidal war. Look at this video photos. And this nation, good with Putin. Back it, hooray, hooray. Attacking Ukrainians, even in Europe countries, when Russian come there, they are attacking Ukrainians, refugees, and etc. And of course, time for ban, very serious restriction to Russians. Russians should be banned enter civilized world until Hitler, Putin will go to waste, garbage of history with her team. We should do that. Iron Curtain. This is about morality, about international norm. Their genocidal war. This Ukraine and this Hitler Putin's through Hitler Putin's war through face. Okay? Good. Intentionally. Hitler Putin doing that intentionally. And Russian people, of course, back it. And Putin using all that for avoid sanctions. They're tourists, particularly in Turkey, particularly in Azerbaijan, in Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan, about United Arab Emirates, I already said, to means Saudi Arabia. But about Europe, and this country, European countries, Turkey, Azerbaijan. I call you ban Russian as tourists come to your to European Union, to United States of America and others, G7 and others. Time for that. And here was about this other case, but in Ukraine, about Ukraine, and Hitler Putin genocide war. Very respectful human rights organization, Amnesty International, written a revealed report about Ukraine. There will another report, already finally, I think, and not only Amnesty International, others, human rights organization, including Human Rights Watch and others. And these organizations very respectful by me because they acting properly and saying truth. No matter which country, which region, this Israel apartheid and war crimes against Palestinians, or this Yemen, or Myanmar view, or Mohammed bin Salman, how executed Khashoggi. Is Agnes Kalamar, Amnesty International head, when she was United Nations rapporteur, she directly said that this Mohammed bin Salman. After that, United States CIA confirmed this fact. Okay? And now, Amnesty International review. I now read this report. I read only conclusion, which was in start of report. There was written what there in report. And I saying you that true about Ukrainian forces in start period of time in war, Putin invasion was used city buildings, or if this village etc. in start period of time for heat, for camouflage, start time. Fully Putin invaded, Ukraine should protect themselves and use all what possible for some form attack, stop, less army, less weapon, nothing there because wrong. Truly devastating, the wrong decision of United States and ally. If Putin will intervene, they will act. And cause of that, even today, continue. When we was able to prevent from start very effectively stop Putin. But you fail it, and Ukraine, this not was, of course, authority decision. This militaries and places. They was using as many countries using. Through that, if we should say truth, if they have war or some conflict, weaponized conflict, using. This was in Syria. This was in Yemen. This was in, I think, many countries where was there war. Through that. This means this as a method, heat, camouflage, and suddenly attack. Okay, for this reason, this was used. Yeah. And Ukraine militaries in places in start time when they was truly very, very serious situation, in not entirely, in some part of this front line, this was happening. That's true. But later, this was approximately one half, not even 2 months time. After that, Ukraine authority ordered stop of that, no using this. Again, here very important, and through investigation and through report docs, all will confirm it what I say now about that. From start time, in some places this was happening, not entirely, and after short time, 1.5 months, this was fully stopped. Okay. Now about blah blah, hey, Russia will use that. Their propaganda will use that. They will legitimize their attack. For whom you saying that? Who show this position? For whom? To America, Europe. They very good know who Putin and how they in genocidal war and how they attacking civilian areas intentionally. And I show you photo. And they are killings. Not only this baby losing both legs and trying to wear this protest. Killings intentionally. Who will allow Putin lie? Seriously. Putin will say, hey, there was because, and before this report, Putin many times said that there was civilians, military, therefore they're attacking. And this lie, of course, lie. Each time they're using that. Each time. Malaysia airplane, okay? This is Ukraine. Even today they can blah, blah. But this Putin intentionally ordered it. Shut down all airplane. Passenger, no passenger. Crack down, shut down. This Putin. Same, crack down all, as he did in Chechnya, in Syria. There was on the schools and hospitals, there was terrorists, as Putin called them. Or in Chechnya, there was Dudayev team, Kare, all Grozny, capital of Chechnya, and others, Kare. There are 10 of thousands, if not, I think more than 100,000. Yeah, concrete figure have. Not forget, maybe 400,000. Yeah, 400,000. Small country, population 1.5 million, I think, approximately. Maybe this figure not so correct, but means near. This is all Putin. And you will listen Putin. Why? When before your eyes, starting from February attacked, from mid-April, I say Ukraine stop it, using even in some small areas, which he was using this tactic, try heat for attack effectively. Okay, look at statistic, and after medium of April, what did Putin? 2 is ads. So they blah blah who try say, try back Putin propaganda. This no way. People no stupid, no moron, no dumb. They know who Putin and what he's doing. Okay? They argue absolutely unacceptable. In International Criminal Court, which will happen, and Putin will there, if he not will, as Hitler in film movie Освобождение, Liberation, not will do portionate herself. He will there, and there will all facts reveal. International Criminal Court, their war crimes, their genocide. Also, if Ukraine side did some against POW, POW, or against, if also they in separate case, small case, of course, but court is court. They shall, should, and will, but so small. For example, in Israel case, we very clearly seeing that massive attack from Israel and massacre after massacre, and until yesterday there was another starting, but now they call it that the ceasefire, but they are already civilians killed, children killed. I will read that. I have small thread about another fascist attack on Israel. But there Hamas also did something. Okay? Some crimes. And this already in International Criminal Court, and they will properly watch that, investigate that, and of course Israel, this undeniable fact, and this human rights organization based only on fact check, revealing their report, their apartheid regime, and they are already about massacre. I saying that about massacre. Several massacre. Israel intentionally killing children. And we have fact even the snipers killing underage. What means fascism? Huh? Fully isolated Gaza, small. There are approximately 2 million people in very small place. There are no way or heat, meat, or run. Now here running. No way. I will return to this case a little bit later. But now in Ukraine case, truth this. I said that. Ukraine heroical people and heroically fighting. Already finally weapons arrived to Ukraine, needed weapons, should be there very intensively and quantity very more needed quantity there should be. If they are 100, means there should be 100, not 50. I'm very angry against this tactic. What this means, mind not accepting that. You have decision of your lawmakers, you have money which giving you have lend lease, and their situation and military specialists saying there should be no less than 100 HIMARS. There should be Patriots. There should be NASAMS. How many? About quote. And this should be there. And this should be urgently because, as we see, Putin not stop it and not to stop. He remain quantity more than Ukraine, army, soldiers, weapons. Putin remain keep this advance. More weapons have Russian than Ukraine. So we should finally stop that. We should stand with Ukraine and help Ukraine remove putler from Ukraine. This not only possible, this will happen and do that will not difficult. Ukrainian people needed in weapon. It needed time, needed quantity. Okay? This main. This is crucial. We should truly stand with Ukraine. The attempt by Schroeder and others, by Erdogan, Ukraine authority using political game, but they, I think, understand who truly Erdogan. His true face coming more and more online, as Orban face, as Trump face. Erdogan same, different scheme, and İlham Aliyev face, different, schemes, but same structure, Putin structure. For understandable saying, they have, each one of them have their own role given to them by Putin. You should do that, do that, do that. And for public, you can't even contradict me, Putin saying that this is good, for destruction, this is important. Putin methods for years. I plenty of times said that. So these countries, including Azerbaijan, Turkey, and other countries, helping Putin by avoiding sanctions. Turkey and Azerbaijan even using Putin card, MIR, call it MIR. This is directly for evasion of sanctions. And İlham Aliyev already openly doing that. Erdogan already openly doing that. You will allow that where your decision, no matter which country, if they helping Putin about sanctions, they should be sanctioned. And time for sanctions, you have Maliyev in this case too, for helping Putin avoid sanctions. Time for sanctions, Erdogan on this case too, for helping Putin avoid sanctions. And they blah blah about peace. Stop that. Putin tactic, using taking territory, after that, hey, peace. They already these shameful, persons. The initiative was shows Draghi, Macron, disputed areas. There was written Ukraine territory newly occupied by Putin in Ukraine, Kherson region, Zaporozhye. There was in this peaceful agreement plan, which was represented by Draghi, Scholz, and Macron. Disputed areas as Crimea, as this eastern region of Luhansk and Donetsk region. Same tactic. Putin using and her enablers. Same in Georgia was in 2008. Sarkozy using also because Putin, this Putin plan. And now Schroeder, now Erdogan, and others. Stop that finally. Finally. I say. About Israel fascism, our days. They are putler, they are who? Kanzler. Kanzler. Ganz also plus means German. Kanzler. Putler, Kanzler. Kanzler Defense Ministry of Israel. He called non-government organizations, few which they was able act independently, or call all them terrorist organizations without revealing some fact. Kanzler, Putler, Hitler, Putler, Kanzler. I reading IMEU, IMEU means non-government, another non-government organization, I think also on this terrorist list of Kanzler. All eyes on Gaza right now, this tweet from August 7. All eyes on Gaza right now as Israel continues to attack Palestinian children in their own homes. Half of Gaza's population is made up of children, and Israel knows this. They are targeting densely populated residential areas. These are ruthless, premeditated war crimes. Of course, this war crimes, another war crimes by fascist Israel authority. Okay. Here's some photo. Girl, small girl. Look at her. and she survived. There are children who died, killed by gunslave. I will read this tweet. Okay, small, no long tweet. Tweet. What you need to know about Gaza. Gaza is a teeny strip of land in Palestine, home to more than 2 million Palestinians. More than 2 million. In very teeny strip. Most are refugees from Palestinian cities and towns in what became Israel. Most are refugees from Palestinian cities and towns in what became Israel. Palestinians and their descendants who were driving from their homes when Israel forced three-fourths of Palestinian population off their land in 1948. Call it Nakba. Okay? Third, third of fourths. Population was deriving from their homes in 1948. Since 1967, Palestinians in Gaza have lived under brutal Israeli military rule. Since 1967, Gaza Strip already under Israel brutal military rule. This means the Israeli government controls most aspects of their lives, where denying them their right to vote and all other rights people take for granted. But Palestinians' right was banned. For the past 15 years, from 2007, okay, Israel has sealed Gaza off from the rest of the world, trapping all 2+ million Palestinians inside. This brutal military blockade is enforced by Israel and Egypt via land, air, and sea. No one can escape or flee to safety. Israeli restrictions on food, water, and medicine make life in Gaza unbearable. 97% of water in Gaza is undrinkable, and 75% of Palestinians' residents are food insecure. Israel calls this cruel and deliberate measures, putting the Palestinians on a diet. I remember this Netanyahu joke. The diet, okay? Israel has one of the most powerful militaries in the world and is attacking a largely defenseless and trapped civilian population. Half of Palestinians in Gaza are children. Half of population in Palestinians in Gaza. These are children. 91% of whom suffer from PTSD due to Israel's endless brutalization. The PTSD, some serious medicine problems. Since 2008, Israel has killed more than 2,000 Palestinians, 4,000, sorry. Since 2008, Israel has killed more than 4,000 Palestinians in Gaza over the course of 4 horrific military assaults, including hundreds of children, among these 4,000. In 2008, Israel murdered 412 Palestinian children. In 2012, Israel murdered 42 Palestinian children. In 2014, Israel murdered 578 Palestinian children. In 2021, last year, Israel murdered 66 Palestinian children. In the past day, the Israel military has killed at least 40 Palestinians in Gaza, including children, and injured more than 300 others. Already in this last attack on Gaza, there are at least 40 Palestinians killed by gunslaughter, among them children, and more than 300 injured. In days, all remaining hospitals will be forced to shut down as Israel cut off Gaza electricity. There are no bomb shelters in Gaza. There is nowhere to run. Year after year, the Israeli military unleashes horrific, all-out attacks on defenseless Palestinians in Gaza. And year after year, the United States government gives Israel nearly $4 billion to fund this senseless violence. These are war crimes. Palestinians deserve freedom. Palestinians no same people as Ukraine or others. In Europe, in America, the children are the kind, Palestinian children are the kind. You're taking bold measures in the United States, try, but you're failing even. Take control on gun. But you buy big words and try act in European countries too, if they are children, particular children, attacking, killing. You're alarmingly taking measures, attacking, acting means. But years after years, Israel again, why there should be still Gaza blockade? Which reason? And if I know there are countries who disagree, this country won't lift this blockade. But how is this possible? If you not will act against Israel apartheid regime. By words, no work. By action, can work. EU should launch sanctions against Israel. United States of America should launch sanctions against Israel. For example, freeze this $4 billion military aid. Freeze means push. free this, stop, end this blockade of Gaza. After that, this 4 billion can unfreeze. This means United States, leader country, United States taken seriously as unacceptable this Israel apartheid state, this fascist attack against Palestinians, continuation of this attack. And time for that. Okay, EU, United States, G7, G20, all should start act against Israel apartheid regime. And there should be accountability and International Criminal Court for another war crimes from Israel. Now, Gansler. I say, but EU failing, why this happening? I know and I try say by my English. Again. This Putin structure, anyway, affecting this country's political establishment. Britain, EU, Germany means France, Italy, Austria. Anyway, affecting. Because very corrupt, Putin how acting, his structure are working. In United States too, how big is the money direct to pockets, and as one team go together for years. Then I call already and others too call it you. You're failing, continue appease Putin, and Putin continue more and more use, more and more come to your country. And when you try use measures against Putin structure, resisting, acting, and coming to absurd situation. One of these absurd, this. It's on Britain case, how Britain unacceptable, wrong position, helping EU for down the sanctions power against Putin authority. Christopher Steele, why did Britain join the EU ban on insurance cover for ships exporting Russian oil? Question. Why didn't Britain join the EU ban on insurance cover for ships exporting Russian oil? As a result, the EU has now softened its ban, letting Putin etc. off the hook. Russian oil also being moved between tankers just offshore Britain to dodge sanctions. HMG needs to get a grip on all these Britain institutions, HMG. But this, why EU softened this ban? Which reason? We're talking about all Russian oil and gas energy should be sanctions finally, including insurance, the ships, oil tanker ships, including, of course, ban your ports to put in Russian oil and gas tanker ships. This means you using embargo on Russian energy, and this should be happen finally already. How many times we should demand that you try to do something, after that this soften it, moften it. What is happening to you, EU? Ursula von der Leyen or Michelle or Barrel, Borrell, sorry. They are trustworthy. They attack, of course, fact tracking them each second. They are trustworthy, huh? Ursula. I take from my before this Chinghiz life this part clip and put to my profile. I will restore that again because this crucial. This EU, how try, avoid, how try use, do maneuver for try anyone back Putin and Putin, particularly Putin ally, which means for Putin, this ally helping Putin avoid sanctions. Same time softening these insurance measures against Russian oil ships. And in Azerbaijan happening this, as I said, Tartar massacre, which unbelievable and never was seen after this World War II in Europe. Azerbaijan, European country. And this did Ilham Aliyev. Ilham Aliyev herself, ordered Ilham Aliyev, the Tartar massacre. In our days, this happening in 21st century, starting from 2017, several years ago. And all this nothing. And you no need in Azerbaijan energy, EU. You should go clean and green energy. Why are you doing that? Of course, corruption. Of course, corrupt politicians. And I call Chief Prosecutor EU, Kabesi, no waste time. Launch investigation on this matter too. Why EU anyway so actively immediately come to Ilham Aliyev? These two, they are corruption. Kabesi. And EU Parliament, I call you stop. Suspend, stop my English, okay? This agreement, energy agreement between EU and Azerbaijan, which was signed by Ursula von der Leyen and Ilham Aliyev in Baku. Stop that. No do mistake, EU. This already come to as digest this attack. How they using ice glass. This digest again. How they using ice glass. Now this one. Against me, what using? This not only the feelings they try. Yeah, I repeated my motion each second. This second too, and try change what I try. And there are many, totally thousands no less than 100 in bunker. Why this ignored? They're using electron weapon and sonic weapon. Both weapon banned. Why this ignored? Continue ignoring. By this İlham Aliyev doing in Azerbaijan, United States of America. Joe Biden. This İlham Aliyev doing. Ursula von der Leyen. İlham Aliyev bunker. Fully equipped. And who helping İlham Aliyev? Israel Mossad. Who behind NSO Pegasus and etc. Against me this. They're using artificial intelligence. They're using robot as phone. But men here, their feelings of Smiths means brigades in bunkers, in bunker. But this each second attacking by construction forum, including using this banned weapon. Therefore, this happening each second. And digest. I, as digest, continue read because importance of these tweets. Listen. Scott Stedman tweeted, seems like we need a special council to sort out why all of these government bodies deleted messages and emails around January 6. Very important. Department of Justice. Michael Beschloss. Okay, Secret Service phones were wiped. So where those of Homeland Security? Now reportedly the same with the Pentagon. I think Film Brother too. You check it that? Anyone want to explain what was going on here? Asking Michael Beschloss. And now about climate crisis. If governments do not act, these firms will continue to cash in as the world burns. Another hard-hitting piece from Carrington, from Guardian, The Guardian. This quote from his article. And call it this name of this article, Damian Carrington and Matthew Taylor. Reveal it. The carbon bombs set to trigger catastrophic climate breakdown. Exclusive. Oil and gas majors are planning scores of vast projects that threaten to shatter the 1.5 degrees Celsius climate goal. If governments do not act, these firms will continue to cash in as the world burns. Written Carrington. Tweet from Lindy Lee. Things that have disappeared. Pentagon text. Secret Service text. Homeland Security text. White House call logs. Presidential daily diary. Meadows was head of staff of Trump. Meadows burned docs. Navarro's emails, White House officials of Trump. Navarro emails. Docs Trump ate or flushed. And Deutsche Bank docs. One thing's for sure, no one ever deletes texts that prove their innocence. That just continue. Digest. Digest content. Josh Marshall tweeting. Imagine that. Pro-Kremlin oligarch Firtash remained in Austria. United States demanding his extradition. Austria not yet. And why? Again about that. Firtash should be extradited to United States. Finally, Austria. Enough is enough. Pro-Kremlin oligarch Firtash picked up the tab for Giuliani trips, looking for dirt on Biden in election campaign year. Firtash, under investigation demanded by United States extradition, he continued to give financing Trump, Putin, Trump, and co. Means Giuliani too. And why Giuliani not under investigation? Department of Justice. This is absolutely unacceptable. Giuliani committed several crimes. There should be very serious investigation on Giuliani case too. I say. Okay, I already read that. An Extinction Rebellion. Earth systems scientists are well placed to predict the future. How? By studying human systems alongside Earth's self-regulating systems. So what do they tell us? And here, the late James Lovelock, who proposed Gaia theory. I already said about him. I said about planet Earth, how to really all directly have link planet Earth atmosphere and even link to magna of planet Earth, even. Our planet Earth same regulated, of course. And this man who died in 103 years birthday, he talking about that too. And Extinction Rebellion continue. These scientists are saying we are doomed unless we change course. The point of Extinction Rebellion is to use mass civil disobedience to change humanity's course. This is something Earth systems scientists also encourage. Of course, there should be billions on streets and squares around the world same day, billions. And this should be by disobedience form, with disobedience form, including in Britain. This Liz Truss blah blah about who have protest right, including of course climate crisis fighters, including Extinction Rebellion. How they can separate civil organization with disobedience, fighting climate crisis, and what this organization what? Should call, maybe you call Extinction Rebellion terrorists, huh? Liz Truss or others, Barry Johnson was and others, Sunak. Stop that, Britain. You can give even your situation much more worse. I say. Extinction Rebellion continue. The next 7 years must see the most profound transformation the world has ever known. How can we tip society so that high emitting activities become socially unacceptable? Direct action is a crucial element, of course. Very important. Climate crisis fighters should come together, act very actively without delay, no wasting time, and there should be by disobedience. And of course, we should achieve our decision, this goal, target, same day worldwide, billions on streets and squares. For that, all should come together. Climate crisis fighters, human rights organizations, trade unions, means workers' rights organizations, and others. Businessmen too, because the climate crisis will affect their businesses, of course. It's so obvious. Social sphere workers also. Social media should cover all this action, means participate by backing this worldwide climate crisis protest movement by disobedience. Worldwide media, mainstream media, should back this action, this movement. I say. Okay, today this, Earth people. I'm Chinghiz together with you.